Hello, AS Warriors. I wanted to do a video for Sky about my experiences with the diet and ankylosing spondylitis. I know it's a really difficult step to go from, years. Personally, I was on the low starch diet for 4 years. To just like being one day, right, I'm going to eat starch again. So I just want to tell you how I did it, and the sort of mental prep that I needed to go through. I apologise, this is a bit long-winded. I sort of wrote down key points there just so I wouldn't forget stuff. So if I keep looking down here, I apologise. But first thing I just want to say, if I can make a difference to one person, I will die a happy man, because if I was told this sort of advice 4 years ago, you go searching for this stuff, but sometimes it's really hard to find. I was just looking for something like this, just a video testimonial of someone just talking about this. No bullshit of what's actually going on. I will start by just saying Klebsiella, I think, is total bullshit. I don't know. I don't really know this book, Carol Sinclair, The Low Starch Diet. So someone put me onto this years ago, and I basically, as I was reading it, I was getting pretty sad, because I was like, fuck, this is my life now. I'm gonna have to, eat a McDonald's and just have a burger with no bun and no fries. How does that work? And then as I was on the diet for a long time, I just started adapting to that sort of lifestyle. Really sort of, I didn't realise, but it was really sort of punishing way to live, just making all these massive changes to your life. But, you do anything to stay out of pain, don't you? So I did that. And I was convinced that this Klebsiella thing was actually, the science behind it made sense. It's quite a sort of strong image, that this thing lives in your gut, and then I found the Facebook group, the Low Starch Diet, and that was honestly, that was such a big support for me at the time, because when you find these other people doing the same thing as you, you're like, holy shit, this is amazing. And for 4 years, these people were such sort of great, almost like family, we're all sharing recipes and experiences and all going through the same thing, but it was such an optimistic sort of outlook, rather than these other AS Facebook groups, which are so grim, seriously depressing. People all taking medication, the medication doesn't work, and then people are talking about having to take hot showers in the middle of the night. Just awful stuff. And I felt way more at home in this group, where everyone was sort of quite positive and helping each other, and not really complaining and stuff. So the diet was like a lifeline to me, and I'll tell you about the Klebsiella stuff being bullshit a bit later here. But first, I just want to tell you what happened with me. I didn't really question this group. How could so many people believe one thing that isn't true? And it is hard to fathom that, but honestly, I just do not believe it's true now. And the truth is that I can probably prove that, because I can prove it by saying I'm eating normally again. I am eating totally normally, eat whatever starch I want. So where's the Klebsiella now, why is that not eating this starch and, multiplying and causing an autoimmune immune reaction? Well, it's not, because it's not true. That's not what happens. What happens, I think, is that when you find this diet, you sort of get something back, like this sort of control. And we all know that AS is caused by stress and pain and tension in the body. So if you can do anything to lower your anxiety, like down, that is going to lessen the pain. So the diet works, the starch diet works because of that reason. It lessens your anxiety because you've got control over the situation, you're feeling good. And then the stress in your body goes down, and then basically the pain, you don't get the pain. So it works, but it's not for the Klebsiella reason. It's nothing to do with that. I believe it's just bullshit. So that's all good if that works, right? But then that's not really curing the disease. It's not really healing you. It's just lessening the anxiety. But then you created another problem on top of that, which is more anxiety, because you're basically punishing yourself by doing all this dieting and cutting out foods that you love. So that almost creates an anxiety in itself, and it did for me, and a sadness, like an overwhelming sadness. I'd lost my identity. I was self-pitying, and that caused me great sadness. And the diet, although it was like a mother to me, I actually became more scared of starch than the pain itself, which is fucked up, like, if you think about it like that. Like, I'd be reading the labels, I'm sure you're all the same, and you're just looking for these tiny little things of starch everywhere, and it's like an electric fence. You're like, shit, oh my god, that had starch in it, oh, am I gonna flare? And like, someone told me one time that, like, it might have been Sky actually, that your brain is so clever, like your subconscious brain, that even if you eat starch without realizing, your body knows, so it will still give you a flare. Like, your subconscious brain knows that you've taken in starch, so it will still give you a flare. So that's how wired in the starch thing, like, it goes into your brain, like, so deeply wired, especially after years of doing this, that your subconscious brain that's controlling your body is calling the shots and being like, you've just eaten starch there, you might not know it, but you've just eaten starch, so I'm going to give you a flare and give you pain. Because sometimes I would have eaten a meal and I couldn't have worked out, like, did I eat starch? Fucking getting a flare. I must have eaten starch. You're just in this constant, like, confusion thing, which is stressful in itself, So it's not the way to go. There's another option here, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I did and what you should do. So this consumes your mind, this diet. You're 3 times a day, if not more, you're saying to yourself, I'm sick. Breakfast, I'm sick, I've got to eat this way. But lunch, I'm sick, I've got to eat this way. Dinner, I'm sick, I've got to eat this way. So you're just constantly reminding. It's not the language you want to be sending your brain. Just confirming that you're ill and you've got this AS thing, and it's not good. What you want to do is, first, I've got 5 points I've written down here. So number 1 is know the truth. The truth is Klebsiella is absolute bullshit. Trust in these people that have all done the same thing, that people like Sky are teaching. like this works. This actually works. I am a testament to that. I am leading a totally normal life now after years of trying to work this shit out. So the second point I would say is when you feel pain. Okay, let's go back here. So if you wanna get off the starch diet, I'd suggest you do it very slowly, and maybe have like little bits of things, like a spoonful of rice, really gradually, just to treat yourself almost like eating again, like a little child. Be really compassionate with yourself, and maybe like take a month, to do it, really slowly, because it is like a big deal, and you should take your time. So that's another point that's important. Like when you feel pain, just remind yourself that it's not from the starch. It is not from the starch. It's from the fear of the starch itself. So that's what's causing the pain. It's not the starch. And if you can keep reminding yourself that, then you should be able to do it. So the next suddenly you shouldn't be as scared of the starch when you start thinking that way. The pain, it's not from starch, it's from the fear of starch. That's a totally different thing. The starch can't cause you pain. It's bullshit. That Klebsiella stuff, it's not true. Next point is, don't be scared of pain when you get it. Just try to be indifferent from it. So that basically means sort of not letting it bother you. Don't try to ignore it, because that's fighting it. Just acknowledge it, but just don't give a shit about it. Just be like, nah. Last point is, do it. Just go ahead and do it. Like, I took so long. Like, I was always on the edge of like, am I ready? Am I ready? I guarantee if you're watching this video, you're ready. Like, it's right there for the taking. And that can be quite difficult when it's presented to you. Like, you've been searching for so long for this answer, and if it's right there, it can be quite hard to just take. But honestly, just take it, because this works. So trust in your teacher, trust in the knowledge, and trust in yourself, to eating normally again, because trust me, you fucking deserve it. You deserve to eat normally. And to be honest, this has worked for me, and like I was doing so well with Sky that I actually forgot a session, and we were laughing about it, because like, I don't know, it was like maybe my fifth session, and I totally forgot about it, and that just proved like how this was working. Like, it wasn't even in my mind anymore. I forgot to actually connect to Zoom for a session. So this works, guys. So I just wanted to tell you the basic fact that Klebsiella is bullshit. I hope you're well. And my name's Paddy, and I really hope that this makes a difference to just one person. Take it easy.